Hi everyone!
Hi!
Welcome back!
Our kids are napping right now, so...
Perfect timing to do some taping.
Yes, and we're going to do something fun today. So we saw a really cute video from a fellow interracial couple, Nick and Boo, about interracial couple questions.
That's right. So we decided to do something similar, and we're collaborating with 3 other channels. So the first one is the Cantonese couple. They actually took a break from YouTube, but they just came back recently.
All right.
And they're amazing. They have 3 kids. I don't know how you guys handle it because we cannot survive with 2.
You are amazing.
Second one is John, that we mentioned him, frequently in our channels because, he and his wife, Margaret, they are jack of all trades.
Yeah, well, and especially hair cutting. My goodness.
I know.
Especially John. You did an amazing job.
And then the last channel is Rice and Potato. They have some killer editing skill of videos.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But make sure don't watch them before you go to bed because you will get super hungry. That's a mistake I made several times. So I'll add all the links to their channels and the videos in the description. So make sure to check them out.
Yes.
So shall we start?
Let's go.
Let's do it. First question, what's your ethnicity? For me, super easy. As you can tell,
can you tell? Yeah.
I'm 100% Chinese.
We're pretty sure about that.
Yeah, I haven't done the DNA testing, but I'm pretty sure. So my mom grew up in Shanghai city, and then my dad grew up in Xiamen.
Well, I am kind of a mixture too. I'm a little bit French-Canadian, a little bit of Welsh. And my biggest part is my dad's side is Mennonite. And that's kind of similar to Amish. And they don't drink, they don't play cards, they don't dance.
No dancing.
Yeah, they're pretty strict. But they also have some great food and very loving people. And so that it was great to have that culture. Yeah. And you've met my grandma. She's amazing.
Her family is amazing.
If you haven't seen my grandma video.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yeah. Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah, but I think it's just because of their culture, their family is just super nice.
Very loving people.
Super nice people. So.
Second question. Where were you born and where did you grow up? I was born and grew up in Fresno, California. That's in Central California. Not too much going on there, except there's a lot of nature.
Right.
We
Next
are
to Yosemite.
Very close to Yosemite, which I miss. I miss living there because it's just, it's gorgeous.
Right.
Gorgeous.
Right.
And you can go on a hike, within an hour anywhere.
And then you grew up in Fresno, but you moved quite a bit, right?
I wanted to get out of there for college. So I went to San Diego because I love San Diego. That was my dream.
Yep. And then
it's still my dream.
And then you moved to the East Coast.
I did, yeah. So I moved around. But
yeah. So I was born in Shanghai, where my mom is from, but I grew up in Hong Kong, and then, I came here for college. I went to a city called St. Louis, middle of nowhere. Great for studying because you have
nothing to do.
Nothing to do. And after grad school, I actually moved to the East Coast, to Jersey, and then after that, I moved to California about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've been all over also.
And if I can choose, we will stay in California. Because I'm a true California girl. You don't mind.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Anywhere there's a good opportunity, I'll go.
And good food.
And good Chinese food, maybe.
Yeah. All right, third question. Did you think you would marry or date outside of your race?
I don't think you ever really think about it.
Yeah.
Just because, we seldom have any,
foreigners
hanging out. So I think...
you mostly hung out with other Chinese...
Yeah, and I still have some, American friends. But I don't think, race is a factor for me when I decided to, date someone, even though most of my ex are Asians. I would say the answer is I didn't really think about it, but it's not really a factor for me.
I was just thinking recently, my first boyfriend was Chinese.
What? I thought I was the first Chinese.
No, I forgot. In 4th or 5th grade, actually. And I remember going to his house, and his family was not too excited about me. Like, I'm pretty sure he did end up marrying a Chinese girl too.
Wow.
So I've always been open to different cultures, and I've always liked Asian cultures because my grandparents were involved in international students, and I particularly just kind of liked the Asian cultures.
Yeah. They even stayed in Japan for a few years, right?
They lived in Japan. Yeah. They liked Japan a lot.
Yeah.
So it's always been something that I've been interested in, and I've always liked guys from different cultures. So.
Yeah.
Okay, question 4. What was your friends and family's reaction to your relationship?
My friends they're okay, just another girlfriend, they're happy that I'm happy. I think for my parents, they're happy just cause they want me to get married.
Yes.
So seems like, Jacqueline is a good catch, and they're happy that, I'm finally be able to settle down. So, I don't think there's any negative feelings or uncomfortness regarding the relationship.
Now, right? But early on in your college years, they were...
Oh yeah, no, that was before you. I think my parents are kind of against us, having dating anyone that's non-Chinese. I think what it mainly comes down to is the concern of, cultural conflict and also the language barrier. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and the language barrier is a problem, even for us.
Sure.
They do speak, some English.
Yeah.
But it is hard.
Correct. And that's something I think you should think about. I don't think it should be a factor, but I think it's something you need to be prepared for.
Yeah, because I can never have like an in-depth conversation with his mom.
Yeah. Well, partly it's your fault because you don't...
I haven't learned Chinese. I mean, it's totally my half-half. Yeah.
But how about your parents and friends?
My parents have always been really open. I think most Americans, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the more liberal Americans are really open to... They just want you to be happy.
Right.
And for my parents, they like other cultures. So it's neat to learn about someone else's culture. And, so
but how about your friends? They're okay? Or they feel a little bit weird?
But honestly, you weren't my first Asian boyfriend.
So they have been weird this whole time? They have been feeling weird this whole time?
No, not weird.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying it's nothing new.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 5. What language do you speak or understand? You want to go first?
I'll go first since mine is short. Unfortunately, English. I took Spanish in high school. I can understand a little bit, speak a little bit.
Yeah.
And Chinese is like at a 2-year-old level. I don't know. I teach my daughter a couple of things.
Right. So I, in addition to speaking English...
He's very talented.
Wow.
Very gifted in the language.
I do speak Cantonese, which is the language in Hong Kong and in the southern part of China. I do speak Mandarin, which is the main language in China.
Yes, that's very handy.
A lot of Chinatown area and Taiwan.
Yeah.
And then I also speak the dialect in Shanghai. So I speak Shanghainese with my parents, Cantonese and English with my sister, and then Mandarin with my Taiwanese friends. The Mandarin, I learned it actually in college because I hang out with my Taiwanese friends.
Which is amazing you did that. But now you have a Taiwanese accent.
Yeah, people didn't realize I'm from China. People always say, oh, are you from Taiwan? But the funny thing is that you know some Shanghainese.
Yeah.
Shanghai, you do understand that, right?
Not
because,
yes. I don't know what you're saying. Yeah,
yes,
I don't know.
Shanghainese, I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Shanghainese is it's different. I can tell when they're speaking Shanghainese. I can tell that the words are different.
Sure.
But when I was visiting his family in Shanghai, I would hear that word all the time, and I'm thinking, they're talking about me.
Yeah.
Nakwanin. That's what they would call me, which means foreigner.
Correct.
So my ears were very in tune to that word. I didn't know what else they were saying, but
Right.
I could tell they were mentioning me.
It's all positive. It's just an easier referral because you're the only Guanyin there.
Yeah. Number 6. What are the common stereotypes of your partner's race, and are they true?
I think in general, people think Americans are loud, which in this case, you are like the total opposite of that. She's
I'm
super
not
laid
like
back,
that.
very quiet.
Yeah, I'm kind of shy, actually, so.
Second one, I would say you guys, like to live at the moment. So you don't really think about plan for the future. You guys have a lot of debt, mortgage, car debt. All kinds of, you spend the money that you don't have.
Spend our paychecks.
And I don't think that's true for Jacqueline either because she's not a big spender. She's not into brands. So
I still try to live like I'm in college. For you, they always say Asians are good at math. Right? And it's absolutely true for you. But I also think it has to do with the way that you got Chinese count.
Sure.
Right?
Totally.
Like the numbers, and the way you can do calculations, it's different than us.
Right. And she always asks me to do the tip calculation. She always give me the bill. She's like, find out how much is the tip.
Well, you can do it in your head.
I could.
Yeah. Well, you guys have a lot of money. I mean, that's what Asians. It's more like Asian. It's more like Asians have money, but I think it's more that you guys save.
Yeah, I don't think it's like we have a lot of money. I'm sure there's a lot of rich people, rich Chinese people, but at the same time, there's rich Americans. Yeah. I think Chinese know, as I said previously, we plan for the future, so we save a lot compared to Americans. We save way more.
Yeah, and try to pay off your house.
Yeah,
I know that was important to your parents.
Yeah, we don't like to owe anybody money. In general, I think probably the new generation is a little bit different, but I think for us, that's how we were raised. We pay our bill on time. We, take care of all the credit card bills. We don't have any remaining, so that's how we live, and we're not big spenders. So even though we're not super rich, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Number 7. What's your favorite dish from your partner's culture? This one is easy for me because, what's American dish? I think that only 2: burgers and mac and cheese.
Oh, that's true, mac and cheese. And I know you don't like mac and cheese.
Yeah, so I'm gonna choose burger.
A good burger is pretty good.
True.
Yeah.
Yes. How about you?
Yeah.
I think that's obvious.
I love xiaolongbao.
Yes, the juicy
soup dumpling. And it's hard to get a good one. So I do try them at every restaurant that they have, but most of the time I'm disappointed.
Yeah, she's a xiaolongbao snob.
Yeah. But my favorite place is Ding Tai Fung for those.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of Chinese gonna disagree that Ding Tai Fung has the best xiaolongbao, but so far, we're pretty lucky, I think.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. Consistency.
Exactly. They always taste the same, no matter where you go, too.
That's true.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Number 8. Do people stare at you when you go on dates?
I remember when we were in China a couple of years ago, whenever we would go out, of course, people always stare at you.
Yeah, that was pretty noticeable.
And when you're at the mall, they only want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to me, even though I speak Chinese. They rather speak English with you because they know you're going to spend money, not me.
I see.
And they always congratulate me. They always pat me on the back.
They were always saying how lucky you were.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. But in America and Canada...
Probably not, but I think mostly in Asian restaurant.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I think it's more that the Chinese or Asians are staring at us and...
Yeah, correct. Because it's not
us out. Yeah,
it's not that common, right? So I think California, it's pretty common interracial couples.
Yeah, especially now. Yeah.
So not a big deal. Number 9.
Are there any conflicts in your relationship due to cultural differences?
I think so. I think it's a combination actually of culture and personality, right?
Yes, definitely.
So
I would say in general, he's really hard on me and he has really high expectations for himself and for me. And I think that there is a cultural component of that.
sure.
They expect a lot. I mean, you expect to do really well in school. You expect to succeed, career-wise.
Yeah.
And right, your parents expected a lot from you.
Yeah, no, I think definitely that's how we grew up, B is not an option. No, I'm just kidding. So they always want us to do the best. So I think that's how I grew up and that's how my mentality is. I want to strive for the best. But at the same time, as Jacqueline said, I think sometimes I'm too uptight and make everybody, too stressful around me because I'm too, focused on certain things. And on the other hand, I think you guys are way more laid back.
Yes.
Your parents don't give you any guidance when you grew up, right?
Not much. Yeah, it's kind of like you figure it out on your own,
Right.
find what you want to do.
Right. Like my parents give me a lot of guidance even now. Nowadays, they still do.
Yeah.
And that's how what Chinese families do. So, and I think, relationship that does create some conflict. So last question. What have you learned from an interracial relationship? So, I mean, in relate to the previous question, I think, because of that conflict, I think I realized that, there's no right way or the wrong way. There's no one culture is the right way to do things, or there's the other culture that's the wrong way to do things. I think it's a combination of both. And I think that's important for us in what we do is that we learn from each other. And
and take some of the really good things about each other's culture and mold it together, especially when we're raising children.
Exactly. And I want the best of two worlds for my kids when they grow up. So I think I want them to be focused, but at the same time also laid back and creative, have their own ideas, have their own mind. So that's important for us to learn that. And I think the other thing I learned from interracial relationship is that cultural differences, when you're in doubt, you need to reach out to your partner and ask about it. It's one perfect example I can think of is my parents are super involved in the upbringing of our kids, their grandkids, right? I mean, American cultures, like for your parents, they just come and play with the kids. They love them equally, not less.
Yeah.
But that's how they do it. But my parents are super involved. Like they should do this. They should, take piano classes now.
Always telling us, advice on what they should do.
Right. And if you're American, if you don't understand the culture, you would have thought that, they are too nosy.
Overbearing.
Yeah. And that's totally not the case. That's how they show their love, to their grandkids, to you, because they don't want you to make the same mistake they made when they were parents. So, and I think that's important to recognize that and understand that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and for me, the Chinese culture has allowed me to kind of enrich our lives with your traditions.
Right.
Chinese New Year's, the different holidays. It can be fun too. I mean, it definitely adds an element.
And you brought me all these American cultures that I could care less about all the holidays.
Yeah.
Christmas, Thanksgiving.
I have almost converted him to really like Christmas. He was not really into Christmas. But with the kids, it's fun.
Yes. Yeah, you did. So,
yeah.
I do participate, right? Halloween,
Halloween, yeah.
Costume. So, yeah. So I think it's fun to be in an interrelationship.
Yeah.
Interracial.
What are you saying? I hope we didn't bore you.
I know. Hopefully this video is not too long.
Yeah. We're going to try to snip it.
And if you like it, let us know. Maybe we'll make another one, about something similar. And we'll see you in the next video.
Take care, everyone.
再见.
Bye.
哈奇金